Hello traders, welcome to another trading interview, this time with one of our series FTMO traders, Buzz from Bristol in England. Welcome, Buzz.
Yes, Peter, what's going on? How are you?
Well, really good. How about you?
Oh, brilliant, thank you. Brilliant. I'm on holiday right now, just in Phuket, Thailand. So yeah, I'm doing brilliant, thank you. Doing
Nice,
brilliant.
great to hear, great to hear. And guys, for
Yeah.
those who are listening us for the first time, FTMO is a proprietary trading company where you can remotely manage your own FTMO account because we have developed a unique two-step evaluation process. And this process consists of FTMO challenge and verification. And once you pass this two-step evaluation process, you'll be offered a unique placement in our proprietary trading company where you can remotely manage your own FTMO account. And that is why we have Buzz here. Because Buzz is an excellent trader. He has one FTMO account with $100,000 and he had a profit from previous period of $20,000. Another great results. Congratulations, man. Thank you so much for having you on. So before we are going to talk about real strategy, can you introduce yourself to us, please?
Hi everyone, I'm Buzz. So I've been trading for 3 years now. Obviously ups and downs, but only recently I found consistency, and that's obviously where I've kept going, kept working hard, and never giving up. You know, there's been a few times that I've hit a few walls, psychological barriers where I thought, I'm going to give up, but I never gave up. I just kept pushing, pushing. And obviously I'm glad I never stopped because now I'm here. I'm just living that trader lifestyle. Like, I don't want
Where
to
are
be.
you?
I'm in Phuket, Thailand. Phuket, Thailand. So I'm just having I feel blessed to be here with everything that's going on. So I'm really grateful that I've had the opportunity. Thank you to FTMO for giving me this opportunity to trade your big accounts for me to be here, because otherwise I wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you very much.
So you are there on a vacation and you are not trading, or it's like that you can trade there else?
I am trading now, so I could trade and make money whilst I'm on holiday. So to be honest, I want to stay here as long as I can and just trade and just enjoy life. Just
Nice.
because I started trading for financial freedom. So I wanted more time. I wanted to live life. That we don't we're not born to obviously work and live and work that 9 to 5 job. So I wanted to get out of the rat race. I wanted to give myself more time to be able to do things. So this morning I woke up, I went gym, I went to sauna, and obviously now I'm speaking to you. I'll probably go for a swim later. So it's nice to have that time back. After working so hard, so much when I was back in England, and now I've got time to do what I want to do. Which is to live. To enjoy life. So, but it's been a hard 3 years, Peter. It's been a hard 3 years. Non-stop. But yeah,
So you started
finally.
to trade 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years. So like 3 years of losing money, in other words. But it's
I
all
know that
lessons.
feeling.
Yeah, but it's all lessons, and obviously I learned from it. After I progress, and obviously, to be honest, I'm glad I never gave up. So yeah.
And why trading? Why did you choose 3 years ago that you want to trade? Where did you find out?
Well, to be honest, Pete, I was in jobs that was not really going anywhere. That I wasn't expanding. I wanted more. Like for me, I've always wanted more. But then again, every human being wants more out of life.
Mhm.
But only a few want to work hard towards that. And for me, I wanted to. And as a few years ago, I was sort of going down a wrong path. I was getting drunk all the time, getting wrecked during the weeks, and I was like, I don't. I questioned to myself, I asked myself, where do I see myself in 5 years' time? And is what I'm doing now getting me there? And it wasn't, and obviously I found trading, and I started thinking, like, this is what's going to give me that financial freedom. This is
Mhm.
what's going to give me that freedom to enjoy life. Yeah, and obviously I started learning. I've done about maybe 5 or 6 courses.
Mhm.
Studied a lot, refining, constant refining, because in this game it's like you'll never find perfection, because the market's always changing and you have to change yourself with the markets, constantly refining your skills. So yeah, but yeah, trading was the one thing that I could see, um, The end goal was get me to where I was, you know. So that's why I found a love for it. You know, at the start it was like a chore, you know. It was giving me a headache at the start. I was reading the candles, but afterwards it's just a love and the passion just came. You know, now I'm just addicted to the charts. So
I cannot agree more. It's a never-changing organism, trading.
yeah, that's it.
And what can you tell me about your learning progress?
The learning progress, yeah, like I said, I've done about maybe 5 or 6 courses, you know, like different courses that didn't really, you know, I seen like
Do you really need?
consistent.
Do you really needed those courses? Tell me.
Yeah, they helped me. They helped me along the way. Like each course I've done gave me a little bit of like knowledge in the market. So I don't regret doing it. But there is some courses that really are basic, you know, basic, and that didn't really work for me. And only recently I just sort of combined everything I know and just put it all into one. And I kind of trade my own sort of strategy now, you know. But obviously we've added things and bits of different courses to help me along the way. But like I say, Pierre, with trading, it's all about refinement. There's so much I need to learn about, because before I learned about fundamentals, I learned about the economic data, what each one means and everything like that, and also the NFP. I learned about obviously why currencies gain strength, currency correlations and stuff. So I learned all about all the fundamentals. Then I learned technicals, and obviously technicals, it was about, say, 5, 6 courses learning the technicals. To learn to read the technical analysis, price action, structure, and everything like that, price patterns. Yeah, so all that combined, you know, has taught me a lot. So I don't regret the courses that I've learned, but the most recent one, I think, it's helped me to gain consistency. You know, so yeah.
So you start with some courses, you start studying the basics, then the advanced stuff, and now what do you think about the psychology?
The psychology, I believe, is about 90% of the game. Like you know, like it's the hardest thing, because you could learn a trading course, right? But your psychology, if your psychology isn't that, if there's flaws in your psychology, like you won't be able to become consistent, because because the psychology, that you need to change your psychology from like a normal human to like a professional trader, because I believe it's the most important
And
part,
how can you
because
do it?
it's I believe it's experience. You know, like you can watch loads of videos about psychology, but you have to learn from your own experience. For me, it was making mistakes over and over and over again, and then for one day to be like, right, Baz, stop. You know, you've made this like 100 times over, and it's just keep giving you the same results. So if you're, you know, if you're doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. So you need to change what you're doing to progress. You know, and that's one thing that I've learned about psychology. Like one of the things after losses, like one thing I was doing after losses was entering again, you know, and stuff like that, thinking I'm going to get in at a better price, but instead I should have been stepping back and thinking, right, I'm wrong. Wait for the next trade, wait for the next setup, and take a step back. You know, that's one thing I do now. You know,
and what is the mistake that you did most of the times? Do you remember that?
I think the mistake was yeah, like I say, like trying to like revenge trade. I think that was one of the worst things, is revenge trading.
Okay.
You know, because like revenge trading, FOMO, fear of missing out. You know, and obviously trying to revenge trade, trying to think, okay, I've been stopped out, I'm going to go in again and get in at a better price. And that was one of my worst mistakes, I think, that I've stopped. You know, because with my strategy, I could take like maybe 3-4 losses, but I get that one big win. You know, so little losses and one big win to make it back. So there's so many parts of psychology, I think, you have to sort of master or become good at. You know, to also become consistent. There's obviously like FOMO, fear of missing out. I just sometimes staying out of the market it's just important as getting in. You know what I mean? Knowing when to stay out. You know, because some weeks there's like you get bad weeks, and that's the weeks you should be staying out of the markets, and then obviously there's good weeks you should be entering. You know, so but I believe psychology is like, it's all about experience. You know, like a few friends have asked me to teach them, and I told them I could teach you the strategy. You know, like in a few months I could teach you like to be consistent with strategy, but the part you're going to struggle with is the psychology. You know, it's the gambling mentality that everybody has. Is after you lose, you want to make that money back. It's that sort of like that mentality you need to step away from. The average human needs to, you know what I mean? So you need to become, professional from average person to professional. And I believe the psychology part is the hardest one. You know, it's the hardest one.
I cannot agree more again that you cannot you can teach the strategy in weeks. It don't need to be months. It's like strategy is sometimes very simple one, but you cannot teach the experience. Like
no, that's it.
You have to go through it.
This is why most of the traders that traders that I follow on Instagram and everything, they even say it takes them 2.5, 3 years, 4 years, you know, even more to become consistent because the psychology, you know, and also I totally understand that, and that's why I kept going, Peter. That's why I never gave up, because you know after a year or two I was thinking, you know what, these professional traders who have been trading for 10 years, even they took 3-4 years to become consistent. So after 1-2 years, why am I going to give up now? You know, like I still got time, you know, because I seen the end goal, I seen the benefits of what it was going to give me, I seen the financial freedom that I was going to achieve. So I was like, no, I'm going to keep going. You know, even if it takes 5 years, I'm going to keep going.
Bas, please don't you ever stop.
I won't. No, I'm going to keep going, Peter. I'm going to keep going. You know, and like one of the hardest things I believe, with the psychology, obviously to help other traders as well, that I find is accepting losses. Accepting losses is one of the hardest ones, because sometimes, you know, you just got to accept that you taken a loss. Just got to walk away. Nice. And come back another day, you know. So it's why it's so important to have a trading plan, a strategy, and a plan that you follow, you know, on a criteria of entering, criteria is okay, this is time to step out, step away from the markets, you know.
And what kind of trader are you right now? You told me that you use fundamentals, you use technicals like price actions, etc.
Well, I would say now I'm mostly technicals right now, because I used to trade combined 50-50 fundamentals, technicals, but really now I'm about 80 to 90% technical trader, because I find like reading technicals, price action, structure, like and also using multi-time frame analysis from the higher time frames, and then I enter on the lower time frames. I find that the technicals will tell you what's going to happen. And the news is the catalyst that completes the move. So I could sort of see with a technical analysis that where price action is going to go. And obviously, the fundamental news comes out or the economic data comes out, and then boom, that's the catalyst that makes the moves happen. That completes the move, sort of thing. So mainly technicals.
And can you show me your multiple time frame analysis in your trading view?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Cool.
If I start breaking down, this is a trade, pound Aussie dollar. So this is the trade that I made 15.2% on in one trade. So I'm just going to break down how I've seen this trade, how I came about, and analyzing from the higher time frames and then entering on the lower time frames. So if I just go through my strategy and explain it to you how I seen it. So it was this. So this was the weekly close, last weekly close. So after it's broken resistance here, we can see the weekly candles 1, 2, 3, 3 bullish weeks of buying pressure. And obviously the previous week we had a sell-off here, and obviously we see some sellers coming in. And if we go to the daily time frame, after I seen that on the weekly, I was waiting for price action to develop on a daily time frame. So daily time frame, we see price push up, come back down. Feel this inefficiency here, and obviously buyers have tried to continue to move up, and obviously here we've got the sellers coming in. So this was the indication really for me to enter and obviously look for that trade for the entry. So I had one rejection and obviously second rejection, bearish engulfing candle. We've got tweezer tops here at the bottom, indicating that price is obviously trying to push up, come back down, and sellers have come back in. And obviously, and the sellers have obviously tried. The buyers have tried pushing price up to beat this high again, but the sellers have overtaken, and this was the indication to me that price cannot push past this level. So really, I'm looking for shorts after I've seen these tweezer tops. And then after that, from the daily time frame, I go to the 4 hour, and obviously the 4 hour. So what am I seeing on a 4 hour? So with the strategy I sort of trade is like structure and price action, and also using order blocks as well. So if I also use the 50 EMA as another conference. So as we know, it's all about probabilities and possibilities. So the more conferences I have, the more I'm likely to take that trade, you know. So obviously, after looking at that, I looked at the 4 hour. After I've seen the 4 hour, I've seen obviously price push down here, broken this structure here. Obviously broken this structure, push down, and obviously price here, we've got a strong resistance level here, and obviously price pushed up to fill this inefficiency, fill this 4 hour order block here. But really, my shorts was after seeing that daily time frame. If I just delete that a sec. After seeing that daily time frame, it was the 4 hour that gave me an indication. So it broke this structure here, broke the structure down, and also it broke the 4 hour support resistance here, and also broken below a 4 hour 50 EMA. So after I've seen that, also combined with the daily time frame of the tweezer tops, a 4 hour indicating that it's going to go lower. We're going to the 1 hour time frame. After seeing the 1 hour time frame, if I'll just do that a sec. I've seen a break of that structure there. I pretty much waited for the pullback really to enter, you know. So what's low? Okay, so we've got a clear break of the 1 hour 50 EMA and also the 4 hour 50 EMA. This was this line. This was the line that I was really looking to go here, right? So we've got nice 1 hour support resistance level here, where price has gone up and obviously rejected that level before. So obviously it's also just hanging below the 1 hour 50 EMA. So what I was waiting for price to get back up into this area here to obviously look for the shorts. So after I had like a limit, I believe, of a limit set. It was around about here. I had a limit set. I was waiting for price action to obviously reject of this area, because this area has got a lot of conferences. So we've got obviously the break of the 1 hour structure. We've got a break of the 4 hour 50 EMA. Adding a trend line here. We've got a break of the trend line as well. Going up here. 4 hour. Break of the 4 hour 50 EMA as well. So push up to retest and to obviously go further short. Obviously wait for price action to push up. Tapped it here, and this was when I entered. I had a sell limit right here with a stop loss above this high here. I think my stop loss is about 15 or 16 pips or something like that. And obviously the target was really to continue that downtrend, the structure downtrend down to these previous lows here, because obviously we can see there's a lot of wicks, a lot of rejections from this area. So I can see that there's going to be a lot of support at this level, and a lot of buyers still left in this area here. So yeah, so after seeing that, after watching price action develop, then I waited. So that was a perfect entry after this broken structure, retest of the 1 hour 50 EMA, retest of the support. So after the broken support, retest of resistance, and obviously broken below the 4 hour 50 EMA. So if all those conferences, this is the area here that I wanted to take that short. You know, obviously to pull up to fill that inefficiency here as well. And obviously, after I've seen this 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern, I believe I entered another trade, and then this was news. This was just before the 1:30 US economic data came out. But I trusted my analysis. I held I think 3 positions. One was at break even. No. So 2 trades was at break even, and one I covered my losses. So obviously I wasn't in like a massive 3% because I moved my stop loss, and obviously covered my risk, so I don't lose as much if it didn't get in my way. But I held the trade in 3 positions, and I trusted my analysis. And obviously after the news, it just dumped and hit target. And hit target, yeah. So so I was in 3 positions. Altogether, I closed it for 15.2%. So those 3 positions, played out, and I took a risk of holding it through the news, but I was in it already, and I just trusted my analysis. So after seeing the daily tweezer tops rejecting that area twice. And I could see it going further down, and obviously pushed up to test that resistance level for the short. And obviously the 4-hour as well, the 4-hour structure, broken structure here, pushed down, broken the 4-hour 50 EMA, broken resistance support, so pushed up to fill that 4-hour inefficiency, and obviously to come short to continue the downside to target these rejections here, where I could see there was buyers in this area here. So, and also with a 1-hour confirmation as well, broken below the 1-hour 50 EMA, broken structure, pulled back to retest, and obviously to short into this target here. I believe I do analysis on the 15 minutes too, I believe. But yeah, if I go into the 15-minute and the 5-minute, it's going to take a lot longer. So that's just a quick breakdown of how I trade PR and how I got into that trade. But that area there, I believe closed at 7.374. I just closed it just before my TP actually. It was so close. And to us, I had 50% in mind, and I was like, I don't want to be greedy, and I do trust my analysis, but sometimes I don't trust my take profits, because sometimes it gets 1 or 2 and then it just goes the other way, So I was like, well, I'm happy with this. 15.2% was my target, and I'll just close it there. So I closed all 3 trades, and then afterwards, that area that I closed was a great area to close, because it came all the way back up. It came all the way back up.
My.
So yeah, so it's a great area to take profit.
Okay, so you solely focus on GBP AUD?
Yeah.
No other pair?
Other pairs I trade. So let's have a look. I trade euro dollar, Aussie AU, Aussie dollar, pound sterling. So euro JPY. Make that bigger. Yeah. So euro JPY, AJ, Aussie dollar JPY, and pound JPY.
Okay.
And gold as well. And gold. I recently just started looking again at US 30 Wall Street again.
But you focus mostly on Forex pairs.
Yes, mostly Forex pairs. Yeah, mostly Forex pairs. But I do look at obviously DXY as well to see how the dollar and how the strength of the dollar is doing. So I do check the correlation,
right?
That's it. Yeah, see the correlation. Yeah, because the correlation, obviously, I think the correlations are Euro USD, and obviously USD CHF as well. And obviously Euro USD I believe has opposite correlation with DXY. So if Euro is going up, DXY is usually going down. Similar to USD CHF as well. So another good one I would say is obviously. Not all the time, so these correlations don't work all the times. But another good one is GA pound Aussie and AU. Usually when AU is getting long, pound Aussie is going short, you know. So it's just nice to bear in mind. Obviously, it doesn't work all the time, you know. There's not 100%, but it's nice to have that in mind, just to check through. So
So to just have some summary of your strategy and your trading, you use 50 EMA indicator.
yeah, yeah,
You are a price action trader.
yeah.
You also use the multiple time frame analysis from the weekly, daily, 4 and 1 hour.
Yes, yeah.
Then you also try to see some breaking of the structure. So you are looking at some support and resistance levels,
And,
and
and also liquidity as well. So
yes, okay.
so the market moves off liquidity. So it's just okay, where is inefficiency that's left, which needs to be filled. So obviously, like, a price never goes in one way unless now and again you're trading crypto and it flies, you know, it doesn't come back.
Yep.
But that's in a Forex game, the price usually has to go up and then come back down. You know, moving waves.
Yep.
You know.
So you will take a look at the liquidity, and you know now that if the liquidity
Yeah,
is
yeah,
high,
yeah.
you know that something will happen, right?
Yeah, it's when price moves like obviously with a lot of say buying or selling pressure, it usually leaves inefficiency. It usually leaves, say for example, orders left behind where the broker won't be able to fill all those orders. So price usually needs to come back, you know, and obviously fill those orders, and then obviously to continue the move, you know. So
and you also use some negative correlations. That's something I really like
yeah,
to see.
yeah. I do use some negative correlations.
You
So
really use the fundamental technical analysis from the overall point of view and use it in your trading. Really like it.
yeah. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, I try to combine all the knowledge that I've learned. You know, there's so much. You know, there's some stuff that I don't use, but I try to combine everything. You know, like also what's going on in the world does matter as well. You know, like with all that's going on, because before what really moved price, I believed, correct me if I'm wrong, I believed it was interest rates. You know, and interest rates and how the economies are doing. But since obviously everything, the pandemic's happened, I do really trade mainly off technicals now, you know, because I find that obviously in the past that sometimes when you're judging it off fundamentals, fundamentals can be used to obviously like manipulate price, and you could be you know, like tricked into like getting into the wrong side of the market because of the fundamentals. So this is why I look really at the technicals, because
And how long it took you to open a trade? How thorough is the analysis before you are going to open a position?
to us, I look at I do the watch list every night, you know. So I do the watch list in the evening after market close, and then I wait for the morning to obviously enter. I set alerts so I could see obviously when price is getting near my entry, I get an alert on my phone, and obviously I wait for that to obviously see where price action is, and if it's looking good to still enter for my analysis I did the previous night before, then I'll enter the trade, or I'll set a limit order and obviously wait for that to get triggered, you know. So I'll do my analysis like in advance, and then obviously I'll wait for my alert to be set off to obviously check for price action. Sometimes I'll set a limit order if it looks really good. If not, I will scale in on a lower time frame, so like a 15-minute, a 15-minute, 5-minute. Check for structure, check for price action to give me an indication that okay, it's now reversing. Now I'm going to enter. You know.
Cool.
Yeah.
And can you show me your results in the client area?
Yeah, sure. So this is my account matrix that I made 20,000 on. So obviously I went up, took the first little loss, and obviously went up, came back to break even, and now after that, just continued to go up after that. And obviously I hit the 20,000 mark, and then I took a couple of losses. Obviously you are going to take some losses, And then afterwards, I made a beautiful trade back up to $20,000, and I was like, you know what, like that's me, ending the month. I think it was halfway through actually that I ended that month on 20,000. So I just chilled out for the rest of the month. I'm just happy with the profits, and I don't want to be too greedy. I don't want to keep pushing it because my monthly target is only about 10% per month. So that's my monthly target. So I've doubled my monthly target to 20,000. So I just want to be realistic. 10,000 a month, 10% a month is a nice profit to me. So yeah,
It's 20%. That's a lot. It's like 2 FTMO challenges in a row.
Oh yeah. 20% is even better. Yes, I was happy. With it, bro. I don't want to keep going. I don't want to, I'd be too greedy. End of the day, we're here to take money from the markets, and obviously, if the markets give you money, then obviously you just take it. You don't give it back. That's one of the things that I've learned is to be happy and content with the profits that I do have. Like even if it's a little bit of profits, it's still profits.
Right now, what I can hear from you is just the experience. It's not emotions. Really good to hear.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
And what about the statistics below? What is your win rate and RR?
If I go back down to the win rate, so I ended the win rate on 65, 63%. So to me, that's brilliant. I don't really look at the win rate too much because obviously, with my strategy, I can take a few losses, small losses, and obviously that one big win. Because obviously, if I go down, obviously some small losses, but the wins are brilliant wins. So.
And how do you calculate the RRR? Do you have some app for it, or
the RR, calculate RR.
So or do you look at the pips, or
I look at the RR. I look.
It's just the structure. You see the structure. You see the low. You see the high.
Yeah. Really, I aim for what's it, 1 to 3 minimum, 1 to 3 RR. Really, so that's why I aim for 1 to 3 RR minimum, and obviously. Anything above that is a plus, so I'll aim for 1 to 3, but if it's that'll be the minimum RR that I'll look for, risk 1% for 3% gain. So.
And how often do you use journaling?
I journal quite a lot, yeah. So I journal. I used to journal quite a lot and write down all the trades. Each trade I enter, and obviously the results of pass or so win or lose. I'll journal them down. But only recently I don't really journal as much now as I used to, which is the truth. I don't really journal as much now, but I used to journal a lot just to get to find out what I was doing wrong, and what trades I was. What trades I was losing on and why, and and obviously those repeated patterns that kept happening, that kept stopping me from obviously winning, So.
And can you show me what instruments you created during this period? It's below in the symbol analysis. Right. Go. Yes, that's the buy and sell ratio. There we go. There's the symbol.
Okay. Okay, the symbol below. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So gold on this one. Gold on this one was the one. Gold on this one was the one.
Why do you think that the gold was in this period that profitable?
I believe on gold as well. I obviously waited because gold respects it. It does most of the pairs with structure, but gold moves a lot more than other pairs. So gold moves a lot more than other pairs. So
it was just your day with with gold, right? It's just changing every day. Yeah. So maybe in some period it was GBP JPY, AD JPY. Now it's the gold, right?
Yeah.
That's the case.
Yeah.
I get it.
But with gold, it moves a lot faster than all the other pairs. That is the commodity that moves a lot faster. When it goes, it goes. So if you get the right, the right entry, it moves real nice. Similar to US 30. This is why I started looking again at US 30. Started looking to trade that. So I think my strategy works works
And
pretty a majority
uh-huh.
of charts, markets. So
And also, as I can see there in the time, where did you open the positions, the chart on the left, I can see that you
yeah,
are really trading the whole day.
yeah. Pretty much, I trade. It depends. I prefer to enter like London or New York, which is my most profitable times. I find that the Asian sessions don't really work well for me, but obviously New York and London sessions where the most volume comes in and the most liquidity comes in. So yeah.
Wow, what a nice overview of your trading results. Thank you so much. And let's go for our last part of this interview. All right, boss, you told me that you set some goals like 3 years ago. What is the goal now?
The goal now is first of all to get more accounts from FTMO. But right now, this present moment is just to enjoy the time. Just to
Okay.
enjoy because after 3 years of hard work and grinding, the psychological breakdowns, of losing. Now finally winning, I just want to take back my time to enjoy a little bit of life and just have a have a holiday,
Mhm.
and then obviously and also start trading again, and obviously just trade full time, just full time trader, But also I do want to get a bigger account with FTMO, so I want to get another 2 3 accounts with you guys, and keep working with you guys in the future,
Mhm.
And the goal in the future maybe is to help others. I like to help people. Like it's not one of these things where I don't sell courses. I'm not a mentor. On my Instagram, I help people out for free. I just people message me and I give them information, give them that advice because when me and my friend Neil started, like had some in the group, me, Neil, and Sam, and me and Neil started at the same time, like 3 years ago, and we had nobody. We had sort of had a mentor, but it turned out to be like a scammer.
Mm.
So we just depend on just me and him, and then we just me and him just help each other out. And so now I just want to give back to the community something I never had, which was the right guidance, the right advice to go the right way of how
Mhm.
to do things.
Mhm.
So
And
yeah,
what would you say to others about FTMO?
I would say highly recommend it. You guys are brilliant. Obviously, I wouldn't be here where I am without you guys. If it wasn't raining, I'll show you guys the view. It's a beautiful view. I'm in an infinity pool, 5-star hotel. No big headedness, no cockiness, but I just say hard work always pays off. So just keep going, and just FTM. Obviously, like I think I failed a challenge a few times, but I never gave up because
Mhm.
I knew my strategy worked. I knew I was going to get there, and I'm so glad I didn't. Obviously, I wouldn't be here
Wow.
doing this interview like if I did. So I want to say to everybody that I do recommend FTMO, and if you pass a challenge, get back to the drawing board and try again. Refinement, refinement, refinement. You only fail when you give up and stop. That's the time you fail is when you stop trying. You know what I mean? And
Okay,
never
boss.
give up.
Okay, boss. This was another great interview with a lot of inspiration and motivation and experience. Thank you so much. And I'm proud to be the one who is interviewing you. And I hope you will be able to grow more in the future.
Yep,
And it was really nice to hear from you that
yep.
the teaching is very important, of course, to studying, but the experience has the biggest value. So that's very important to know. And I have one special advice for you. Trading is like driving. The best driver looks to the rear view window sometimes more often than to the windshield. So
That's it.
do you have any last words?
Um, Last words. Really, I would say to other traders who want to obviously become full time and become consistent, I would just say just keep going. I would say don't listen to anybody else who says it's not worth it
Mhm.
because I didn't listen to anybody else, even friends and even family. Uh, they meant well, but I had a lot of doubters that said, "Baz, you're wasting your time.
Mhm.
It's not worth it." You know what I mean? But then again, I feel blessed now. I never gave up.
Mhm.
That I'm here and
Mhm.
I'm doing a lot of You know, I'm doing things that a lot of people, you know, can't do because I stuck to the plan. I stuck to the goal. And obviously, I've seen a vision. I risked it all for a vision that only I seen in my head. You know what I mean? But everybody else didn't see it, but I seen it, and I just kept going, and that's why that's my advice to everybody else is to obviously have one life and just make the most out of it. You know, and just but one thing I've learned: hard work always pays off. So just don't ever give up. You know, like it's your dream, it's your life, and it doesn't matter what anybody else says. You know, if you see that vision in your head, then obviously go after it. You know, so yeah, I just say it's proof that it's possible. It's proof that it's possible. So yeah, never give up. Never give up.
And that's FTMO.